twice now the Celtics have been first to the floor. They try to save with Horford. Unbelievable.
Boston first to the floor. So good.
Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Tatum dives on the floor. Everybody dives. Jaylen Brown with the flush. Blocked by Porzingis. He's doing it all. Tatum spinning, driving, layup. Washington drives. Blocked by White. Oh, what a block from Derek White.
Welcome in, first to the floor. Ben Vallis here. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Wayne Spooney and Jake Eisenberg are here to talk some Celtics big man acquisitions this offseason and, of course, the NBA Finals, which are upon us. Spooney, Jake, how's it going, guys?
Great. I'm glad my forehead could make it. Clearly the star of the show. But I'm doing good, but I really enjoyed game 7. Looking forward to, I think this is going to be a really awesome finals matchup. And dude, I love the off season. I don't like it when it starts this early, but transactions, the draft, like it's just so fun to talk about that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Spoonie's got this rectangle of aura on his forehead again.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, it's like a dark raining day. So I don't have my natural light to the same degree as usual, but I turn the light on and all it's really done is created a reflective circle on my forehead. So boys are looking good. How are you, Ben?
Oh, dude, shadows and lighting, all very important for the production elements of this show. A standout feature of the First to the Floor podcast. I'm loving that Spoonie's brain, it's like it's being warmed up by the sun, ready to just pump out basketball knowledge. So I'm doing great. I wish the Celtics were playing. Like we were talking just before we went live, like what are our hobbies now? People in the chat, let us know. What do you do when the Celtics are playing? I'm looking for recommendations, please. But yeah, doing fine. And just on Team Wemby, which maybe that's a good way to jump into it. Spurs, Knicks, NBA Finals, Game 1, Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. It's 10:30 a.m. Thursday in this part of the world. I have the day off work. Very excited.
Oh, nice.
Spurs, current favorites, minus 205 with the Knicks as plus 164 dogs. I don't know where you want to get into it, guys, like narratives or matchups or strategies. But Spoonie, seeing as your mind is illuminated by the sun, I think we've got the best chance of kicking to you first.
All right. Yeah. Sounds good. That's a lot of pressure, forehead. Let's do it, buddy. So I just like generally this season, they played twice. Obviously they went 1-1. Knicks kind of beat the shit out of the Spurs in the game in Madison Square. Spurs shot 26% from 3. Figure that's probably got a lot to do with it. And then the other game in San Antonio, 134-132. Champagny had 11 threes. Bit of an outlier there, but the way he's been shooting the ball, maybe not. So the matchups where like, I don't take a ton away, although everybody played in these games, but I think this goes for both of these teams that they're both much better than they were during the regular season. This is like one of those rare cases where like both of these teams have kind of figured it out in the playoffs. And I think that's especially true for the Knicks. So I don't think we can learn a ton from the regular season matchups. I just like, to me, it's like Brunson is obviously going to be a huge focal point, and like Shea is sort of just a better version of Brunson. And we saw Wemby give him fits for a large portion of that series. I'm not sure. Like Cat really changes the calculus in some ways with his shooting, and he can pull Wemby out. But man, like I feel like it's going to be tough sledding offensively, maybe for both of these teams.
I'm concerned emotionally for this series. I think I've finally kind of reached the emotional hedge kind of threshold with my gambling against the things, or gambling for the things that would make me unhappy. Because I bet on the Knicks to win the title when they were 26-1. So there's a lot of money that I stand to make if the Knicks actually win. And even still, I know I'm going to be rooting for Kelly Olynyk and Luke Cornett, as RJ points out in the chat here. The aura of this Knicks title, if it happens, is going to be kind of monumental to take down like this Spurs team. Win the first title for the Knicks in 50 years. Like, it's going to be really annoying to have to follow and watch if it does happen. And I'm not sure if that is why I'm having a tough time seeing the matchup for the Spurs. I'm having a much easier time seeing the matchup for the Knicks as far as it kind of leaning positively. I like the OKC offense struggled in back-to-back playoffs. You kind of mentioned like Shea's better than Brunson, but Shea in the playoffs now has not been anywhere close to the same guy in the regular season as he's been in the playoffs. Like true shooting wise, Brunson's kind of right there. And in this matchup in particular, to beat the Spurs, you have to be able to bomb away from three. And the Knicks have just been scorching hot from three. Brunson is comfortable taking pull-up threes in a way that Shea isn't. Towns, I don't know how much Wemby and will be guarding Cat, but like just having the ability to spread the court out in a way like Chet wasn't even taking the open threes, whereas Cat is able to shoot 3-4 feet behind the 3-point line, quick trigger, and like it's just it's him and Dirk are some of the best big man shooters ever, right? Like that. I think the Knicks offense is significantly better equipped to handle the Spurs defense from a shooting perspective. All of their shooters are better than OKC shooters. Bridges, OG, and they're bigger. They have higher releases. I was listening to Knicks Film School today. I find them like palatable as far as content to consume because it doesn't maybe want to shoot myself while still being able to consume the series from like a team's perspective. Better shooters, bigger shooters, higher releases, and I think that matchup in particular, like the Knicks offense being significantly better and rolling in a way that the OKC offense just was not able to at all, is why I'm feeling like the Knicks. I feel like I'm gonna like pick the Knicks. Like that's what it feels like to me.
Real quick to your point, Jake, the Knicks shot 52 and 48 threes in the two matchups this season, so they definitely are gonna fire away. I don't know, man, but they just got a lot of bodies. The Spurs do. Like, I don't know. That your point is well made. I can definitely
right
see
sized bodies. I'm like, I don't know. They're smaller.
I would like Harper and Vassell and Castle can all guard up. Like, I really am not concerned with them being able to match the size on the wings. To me, it's like, can Brunson just continually work into like step backs and like, punish Wemby for being in that fairly deep drop.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned you don't think Wemby will guard Cat because like one of the best arguments I think for the Spurs is there's probably no better tandem to guard the Cat Brunson pick and roll than like Stephon Castle and Wemby, because like Wemby can sit in drop and come like somewhat up to the level, but like we've seen it against every team this postseason, like his length just bothers the ball handler even in that deeper drop. He could switch, I think, as well and still hold his own. He's still sort of nimble-footed enough, but Jake, you said he's probably not going to guard Cat. Do you think he's going to like roam off Josh Hart or something like that instead?
That's exactly what they did against Alex Caruso, what everybody does to Josh Hart. And the Spurs were pretty like happy, even though Caruso goes 8 for 13 in game one, they didn't go away from it. It did lead to Caruso then being able to pump fake and Wemby comes flying out on closeouts. And Josh Hart, I think, is a much better kind of punisher of that type of defense. The question is, I don't think anyone's got more pressure on them when like the game starts than Josh Hart. Like you want to talk about teams and youth. The whole world knows that Josh Hart is going to be left open with Victor Wembanyama. And if he starts that game, if he goes 0 for 3, how many more threes is he going to be willing to take? And if that becomes a thing that he's hesitant to do and Wemby doesn't have to guard him, then the Spurs are going to win the game and they're going to win the series. But Josh Hart, he has the capability to knock him down. And if he does start to knock them down, the other place that I think that Knicks can really kind of handle the Spurs is on the offensive glass with both Mitchell Robinson and Cat. OKC, not a good rebounding team, and they gave the Spurs trouble in game 7. That scares me. Cat, like if you put Wemby on Hart, is Cat going to destroy who's on Wemby on Cat now? You're not going to post Cat up, but like, is he going to destroy Champagny on the offensive glass? Mitchell Robinson has the size to really move Wemby down low. And if you're getting offensive rebounds, that can kind of neutralizes the defensive impact that Wemby's having. And I don't know, like I'm not worried about Mitch Robinson's pinky. Like he does. What does he need that for? I don't think that's
free throws.
Like, yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
I think it'll probably be Vassell on Cat, right? At least to start. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. There isn't. Maybe it's Harper. Like honestly, I mean, I don't know.
He's coming off the bench then.
I know he's coming off the bench, but like, I guess you really can't take Vassell or Champagny off. They just both had really good series, but we're gonna see a variety of people on Cat.
Yeah,
right. They're gonna throw a bunch of different people on him, and Wemby will be on him at some points too. Like they have to see what that looks like. I agree. Like I think they'll start on Hart. But they're gonna mix and match for sure. To me, it's like Fox worries me because I'm not really sure where you put him, and he's like clearly not 100%. That's the flip side is like, do you try and hide him on Josh Hart, and then he's gonna get obliterated on the offensive glass? So I'm not sure that's viable. So I would not be shocked if we see less De'Aaron Fox and more Dylan Harper this series, even though Harper's going to play and he's going to play a lot regardless of how much Fox does. But yeah, man, like it's going to really like, I think the offensive rebounding is going to be the huge game changer for the Knicks for sure. And then how well they attack Brunson Cat, which nobody has really done successfully in the playoffs this year so far, but it's there. They can be picked on, even though they're both playing solid defense.
I do like the idea of putting Fox on Hart, and then he's there to kind of load up on Brunson as well. Like you can, as we've talked about, shade off of Josh Hart unless he makes a couple of early threes, which I know we'll get to like the narrative stuff of the Knicks potentially winning. Like, please fucking just be shit like from three all final series. Josh Hart, I would love that so much. But yeah, that'll be an interesting sort of start and wrinkle to the game. Like who's guarding Wemby? We haven't even talked about like probably the most overwhelming matchup element in this series is just Victor Wembanyama, and you know Mitchell Robinson. He's got the finger thing. He's going to be starting on the bench presumably. So you throw Cat on Wemby and hope for the best, because I haven't looked into the matchup numbers through the regular season. Maybe I should have. But I would imagine Victor Wembanyama will have his way with Karl Anthony Towns for the most part.
Yeah, I think it'll be OG.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so I think in the regular season it was a blend again, but it was like Cat a little bit, and that's what I would go. I would put OG on Wemby immediately. It feels like he's kind of the perfect guy to guard Wemby, and I do think this Spurs team is like, if we're flipping to that side, like they're equipped to attack Brunson a lot. Like we talk about Fox maybe getting attacked on the other end. If he's guarding Mikal Bridges, trying to run through screens, don't love that. But like Fox and Wemby running two-man stuff, and Castle putting Brunson in the basket, and Harper putting Brunson in the basket, I think the three guards can really make Brunson's life difficult. I don't really buy into, like, there are some guys, you like Luka, right? You have to have him in every action. You have to have Embiid in every action because you can wear them down. Brunson's not a guy to me that I think you can wear down. He is in that like upper percentile conditioning wise. I always think about that video with him and his dad on the court when he's like 12 and he's like about to puke his guts out. It's like he's kind of been working for this moment his whole life. So I don't think that's why you attack him. I think you're trying to get at Cat and you're trying to get at Brunson on that end, and using your three guards. Can you get Cat into foul trouble? Like that's definitely something that I think they could do. But I think there's a reason the odds are like this. I think the matchup wise, OKC would have been a more difficult matchup. They were just dealing with injuries at that point. No J-Dub, no AJ Mitchell. Chet was had turned into Ben Simmons in the Atlanta Hawks series in 2019. Like parallels, not a joke, really. Yeah. And the difference is you're going against Victor Wembanyama and not was Clint Capela was the big man on the John Collins and Trae Young. Like obviously slightly different opponents to go against, but there's a reason the odds are like minus 198 plus 166. It's not quite a coin flip, but all the Knicks have to do is win one in San Antonio and it becomes a coin flip. And that is making me sick.
Yeah, maybe we can get into that unless you guys have any sort of more matchup stuff. But you mentioned the aura of a potential Knicks championship win here, essentially, where I don't know, like I get it because I haven't won in so long, but they kind of have had a bit of a cakewalk through the Eastern Conference playoffs thus far. I think the Aura champs currently are the Spurs because you've got this very young core like Wemby, Castle, Harper, Johnson, Vassell. Like none of them have had like a deep postseason run or a lot of them a postseason run at all. You've really got De'Aaron Fox as like the quote unquote veteran from his playoff runs in the Sacramento Kings days, which is not very much to speak of. They've just survived this grueling 7-game series against the defending champs, knocked them out on the road in game 7. And then you get the Wemby emotional outburst afterwards. Like he is holding the Aura Cup at the moment, as far as I am concerned. And they're bringing this into this incredible matchup. It's going to be hopefully some very dramatic games at Madison Square Garden. And I think because I think people favor the Knicks in terms of this sort of personality, gritty. I don't know, like they've got a mental edge over the Spurs, I suppose. And I think a lot of people favor the Knicks in that sense. And I think that the Spurs have a lot of that themselves, and there's still a lot of that they maybe yet to demonstrate. And I love the idea of what might emerge narrative-wise in that sense coming into this final series.
It's an incredible series, an incredible matchup. Like deep emotional narratives, I think, on both sides from like the team's perspective and then the bigger picture for the NBA. But before Prize Picks' snipers take me out, let's make sure we get this one in before the 17-minute mark here, fellas. Prize Picks, the season is getting close to the end. NBA Finals are here. So if you didn't enter the NBA Finals sweepstakes, you're probably running a little bit out of time for that one. But there's no better way to cash in on the finals hoops than with Prize Picks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Every bucket, every dime, every Wemby block means more when you're playing on Prize Picks. So don't pass up your next shot with Prize Picks and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, preferred partner of the NBA. And now, Spoonie, I know we definitely won our last pick, didn't we?
We did. We actually won.
Hey.
Big hit for like $70. So we're almost back up to even. We're $15 off of breaking even. So I got some WNBA prize picks to go real quick here. Yeah, I know who Skylar Diggins is. So this is very Skylar Diggins heavy. We're going Skylar Diggins, more 1.5 threes. Skylar Diggins, points, rebounds, assists, more 24.5. And Shakira Austin, sweet name, like really awesome name. The center for Washington's team, more 9.5 rebounds. And then I'm going to put that in $20 to win 150. Let's go, Skylar. Come on.
I'm
Just
Skylar Diggins.
Intelligent Prize Picks usage. Yeah, adds a little bit more spice to that matchup as well. Love to see it. Shout out Prize Picks. Shout out the CLNS Media Network for presenting this show. YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Subscribe, like, engage, all that stuff. Help us out. Also, First to the Floor live show in Boston, November-ish. We're circling dates. It's really dependent on the release of the regular season schedule, which isn't until August. So
yeah, it's very
we're
annoying.
doing all the planning we can in lieu of the availability of the schedule. But make sure you subscribe and stick around for those details. Back to the Aura side of things. I feel like we only scraped the surface. We only bounced off the atmosphere of the Aura aspects of this matchup, guys.
Prize Picks should be stoked with that. We trade everybody in with the Aura and then hit them with Skylar Diggins, baby. Go ahead, Spence.
Speaking of Aura, Skylar's got a lot of it. Okay, so are the part of me's like, are the Spurs just like too young to realize that they should be like intimidated? Do you know what I mean? Where it's like they're just OKC was the boogeyman. They were the final boss, right? And like I guess that can cut both ways where it's like, do you have a letdown now that you're playing the Knicks? But it's also the finals. Like, I don't think they're going to be intimidated by the Knicks or like think there's, the moment's too big for them. Like the way Castle, Harper, Wemby, Vassell, Champagne, like all these dudes just went at OKC, stuck with it. And I think in game 7, especially, OKC kept cutting the lead down, cutting it down. nudged back in front multiple times in the second half. And then it was just like, I guess one was right before at the end of the first half. And then again, I think in the third quarter. And it was just like, boom, Spurs are back up 7 immediately. And Fox was actually responsible for some seriously clutch buckets, like
timely
mid-game.
all game.
Yeah. It's like he'll have 12, 13 points, but every single one of those baskets completely changed the momentum of the game. So like, I think like these dudes are like young and hungry and physical, and they're thinking like, we just beat the best team in the NBA. Like, we're going to run over Karl Anthony Towns.
I do think that like matchup wise, that is a good point. Like there's a potential for a Goku coming back from King Kai's place to fight Vegeta situation where they've been training in 10 times gravity against Caruso, Kason Wallace, and Chet and Hartenstein and Dort. Like, as good as OG is, like, I think OG, you can put him up against any defender in the NBA, no question. Brunson and Cat are not those guys.
They're going to be Shamit's guarding me. Hell yeah.
Shamit. Even Bridges, like who's good, but like Caruso is basically Drew Holiday
and Wallace, dude.
And oh my god, the way that
he's crazy.
He's like little Kawhi Leonard. The way that he's able to guard guys and take the ball away. But that side of it could favor the Spurs. But you're right about the moment, and I'm not worried about that at all. You start with game 1, and that's now stamped as a historic moment with them going to the finals. Wemby hitting that shot down in OT in game 1, because you have like the series still ends up going 7, and you steal game 1 because the Thunder, despite not having J-Dub and AJ, like that team is as deep as you will find in NBA history, especially with that defensive talent. And they smoked the Spurs in 3 games. And for the Spurs, you're right, dude. They go up 14, and SGA goes completely nuclear, hitting the most ridiculous shots all half long, ends with 35 on good efficiency. And they go up, and I'm like, okay, valiant like series from the Spurs. They're not quite ready. Harper's not quite ready. De'Aaron Fox's ankle is just a little bit too injured, and they just smack them right back, and they run away with it. They run away with it, even with Wemby in foul trouble. Luke Cornett. We haven't even mentioned Luke motherfucking Cornett. Blocked by Cornett. Blocked by Cornett.
Oh, man. I watched that so many times. Dude. Talk about aura.
Talk about aura.
Did you see him dancing after?
Yeah.
Yeah. No lie.
Yeah. Dude, man, that'll be, I think maybe he can play a little more in this. I don't know. I wonder if there's something to like Wemby just being so good, trying to be the backup to someone that good. It's just really hard. And the other team just gets emboldened with all of this confidence as soon as Wemby goes off. It's like, we have no choice. We have to score lots of points now that Wemby's off the court. And I mean, the numbers have not really indicated that Cornett's is holding up in the playoffs, but in that moment where the Thunder had the chance to cut it to like a 4-point game as the Spurs were getting a little bit rickety, he blocks that shot, and that essentially sealed the game for the Spurs.
I feel like Luke was like 60% responsible for the turnover that led to that transition run out from Hartenstein as well. But people won't remember that. They'll remember the iconic block, and I'm going to go down that route as well. I do worry about the minutes load on the 7'6" center Victor Wembanyama, like a massive load, the biggest load in his career, I will say. But look, if you ever. I was going to say, if you're going to do it, it should be when you're 22 years old. But I mean that genuinely. If you're going to play that many minutes on a basketball court, it should be when you're this young. Let's move on.
At your most virile. And
that's exactly right.
But yeah, I was just going to say, like, when I was watching Spurs Thunder game 6 and Spurs won, but I was kind of like, okay, it's kind of cooler because Dave in the chat just before was like, it's too early. It's like the Spurs can't start the dynasty when Wemby's 22. It's too much winning. I was like, the championship DVD for the Spurs and like the history is kind of cooler if they have to come back the next season and overcome OKC in the same way that the Celtics had to overcome the Heat, or the Bulls had to overcome the Pistons, or the Celtics and the Lakers in the 80s, right? Like these kind of getting over the hump things. But then as soon as I started watching game 7, I'm like, no, I can't do it with OKC. So from that perspective, I did end up going for the Spurs. But I had a thought. I'll ask you this. It's kind of random, but like, if you're going to win 5 titles, would you rather do it in the way that the Spurs did it with Tim Duncan, like no back-to-backs, but 5 over 20 years, basically? Or would you rather do it in the way that the Lakers did it with Shaq and Kobe, and then Kobe in the 2010s, where you have the 3-peat and you have like this 7 or 8 year gap, and then you have a 2-peat? Would you rather go like little individual stories for 5 titles, or like 2, and especially 1, like stamp as one of the best teams of all time?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll take
I
5
agree.
titles. No, I don't know.
5.
I think I'd like the Spurs.
Yeah.
I think like being relevant for 20 years and always being in the mix, and like, yeah, the last title against the Heat is, you know, up there with the Mavs as one of the greatest teams and playoff runs and series wins in NBA history. I would so much like Shaq and Kobe did not last very long, and obviously they came back with Pa and Lamar Odom. Yeah.
Paul Gasol.
Paul Gasol. Yeah.
I'm going to name my next dog Paul Gasol.
Yeah.
Is that an accent thing? Paul?
P-A-U. That's his
Pal?
name, right?
Pal?
Whatever, you know. It's an accent thing. With Gasol.
Spoody Simmons over here.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's brutal. I am getting old. It's tough. But yeah, like if you wedge that, you know, like say there's 2 years in between, like that's amazing, but give me the 20 years of relevance.
Yeah, it's very indicative of like you can be so good, like championship favorite caliber team over a period of over a decade and still sounds weird to say only win 5 times. It's very indicative of like things have to just break so well for you in the postseason to have a successful run through the conference into the finals, and then subsequently to win that tough series when everyone's like completely like just shattered with fatigue at that point. And the Spurs were incredible during that whole run and only won 5 titles, but to have that extended period of relevance, I'd subscribe to that any day rather than the short burst of whatever you want to call it for the Lakers. Shaq
I just think about winning the
undoubtable.
title for the Celtics in 24 and how like we had that little odyssey since the Jays arrived and you win. So like these gaps in between the titles make the title that much more special.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, again, to Spoonie's original answer of yes to both is the correct answer to this question.
Just give me more than 1 title in this era, please.
Yeah,
Really
we're
get
definitely
it.
at that point right now, and maybe that's the transition. Is how do we get one more in the Jays era? Unless you've got something before we get there.
I think just very quickly, as far as like 2 things. The positive, like light side, is that I'm very much on the Wemby train. Like I think this Wemby run has made the Celtics' early demise easier. In like it's a very easy thing to hitch your wagon to. That it's so inspiring, and like this young guy who's like clearly just above and beyond like the dimensions. Like he's got this again aura about him. He's trained with the Shaolin monks. Like he's trained with Kevin Garnett in the offseason. He has like a lot of grit to him on top of the like finesse and the overall dominance and skill set. So just a lot of fun to cheer for. On the other side of things, the Knicks. If the Knicks win this series, and we can start to transition to like speaking as Celtics fans here, because this would be utterly devastating. Like I'm going outside with an axe and severing the internet connection into my home if the Knicks win this series. It would be truly devastating. It's already unbearable as it is. My algorithm, my feeds everywhere are pumping in Knicks content. I've just had one in my YouTube feed this morning, like the Knicks 1999 playoff run. Like, I don't want to see that shit like ever. And if they win again, life will be tough. I don't know how you guys, folks in the chat, let us know, like, how are you grappling with this potential reality right now?
Not well.
Okay.
I think I'm in denial, or like copium, whatever you want to call it. I've convinced myself that like Spurs in 6, like I'm very confident in that. So I'm going to be devastated if it's the Knicks, but I'm not prepared for it, man. It's like that meme that's like nuclear bomb versus crying baby. I'm the crying baby. Like if the Knicks win, they're going to nuke me. So I'm not prepared. I'm not dealing with it. I'm in pure denial and just hoping for the best.
Yeah, it'll be a disaster. And I our title, the 2024 title, like Ben talked about the path. The Knicks' path to the finals was as much of a joke as if you want to say ours was as well, I would say that Pacers team we played in the conference finals was better than any East team that they had to face to get there. But this Spurs team is significantly better than that Mavs team. That Mavs team was good and a legit finals opponent. And like even by the odds, like the Celtics were heavier favorites than the Knicks are and then the Spurs are in this series. But enough of the like smart quote unquote media people picked the Mavs. So it was a real opponent. And there was plenty of, aura and that type of stuff for the Celtics and Celtics fans with the journey to get to that title. But to take down a 60-plus win team that just took down the back-to-back champs, the reigning champs, the back-to-back Western Conference Finals teams, with this Wembenyama dude that Ben just laid out, like, is on track to be a top 10 player of all time, like, so easily as long as he stays healthy. Just already the best player in the world, I would say. If he's not, he's in tier 1 with Jokic and Shea. And by the end of next season, it's probably going to be him alone in a tier by himself. So that's what scares me as well, is like if the Knicks do it, it's not just doing it, it's going to be doing it in this like incredible way. And they're not going to be going anywhere. Like this team is in place for next season, but we will talk about how maybe they lose Mitchell Robinson. But I'm picking Knicks in 7. That's my official pick, and maybe we finish with that.
That hurts me. I will just add though, if the Knicks get this far and then fall off this close to the summit on the Hillary step, they slip off the side of the mountain and never make it back. The Schadenfreude is back, but we've got a long way to go, a long couple of weeks before we get to that point. Spoonie, you got a prediction for the series?
Spurs in 6.
Spurs in 6. I think I'm with you. And it's more like I'm praying for that. I really don't know
100%.
Because I think it's a lot more evenly matched, as Jake suggested, than the odds also suggest. But speaking of Jake, Eisenberg put up a new piece on Celtics blog on Celtics big man options this offseason. It frames everything around one premise that after back-to-back disappointing playoff exits, punctuated by a first-round loss to Philly, where the entire center group fell apart despite Nimi Cater's strong regular season, the front court has to be upgraded this offseason, and the approach is split into a few different philosophies. Jake, I don't know if you want to run us through it. There's sort of a few tiers of potential big man acquisition this offseason.
Yeah, I think we all are in agreement that is the most clear kind of spot on the roster that needs to be improved. As good as Cater was, and I think that what he did in the first round doesn't erase what he did in the regular season and doesn't mean that he can't continue to improve. I think he will improve. Everything we've learned about this Celtics group is that he will, and that he can be a big man that is on a team that makes the finals or wins the finals. He just needs to be surrounded by other good players in order for that to be viable. Take away like the dumb fouls, not just the fouls he picked up normally. Maybe the Celtics win the series, and it's that simple. We can breeze past the Giannis part because that's like the first category of the piece. It's like the Giannis thing. I think that solves your big man stuff alone. But then it's like it's the big splash category. And if you're going to move Jaylen Brown, would you, and you've got all these wings on the roster, Walsh, Ugo, Baylor, Ron Harper Jr., Hauser. Can you patch together the Jaylen Brown stuff if he leaves? And could you move him for Evan Mobley? Like the Cavs are in their own existential crisis. I'd say even more so than the Celtics. What's your initial reaction to hearing Evan Mobley for Jaylen Brown?
Go ahead, Ben.
It's a clean fit next to JT defensively. I think with Mobley, I guess at the 5 and Tatum at the 4, then you've got a really nimble, like switchable front court essentially. And I'm in two minds about like what the most important, if I had to pick one, most important quality of a big man is that we kind of didn't really have this past offseason post Al Horford. Is it switchability defensively, which I think is the more important quality, or is it the ability to space the floor by adding a 3-point shot as well? And the fact that Mobley can switch a little bit, I know he's sort of dabbled with the 3, but he's never really like crept up above, I think 30%. I think Mobley solves a lot of defensive issues, and particularly in the playoffs, I think you have like a good defensive core there in terms of your front court. What do you think, Spoonie?
Yeah, Evan Mobley is not a bum, Steve. Come on, let's be honest here. He was like second in DPOY. I mean, like he's an elite. He's an elite defender. And he's a positive offensive player, and he's 25 years old. The flip side is he makes a ton of money for what he is. I do not think he has the offensive capabilities to win the finals MVP like Jalen did. Like, I just think Jalen's ceiling as a playoff player is probably higher than Evan Mobley's, but getting 5 years younger for a guy who's probably going to improve and was on a weird ass team, square peg, round hole next to Jarrett Allen, and having to cover for small guards his entire career. You plop him on this team next to Jason Tatum, Derek White, some of the young wings we've got. And I think that's the recipe for maybe the best defense in the NBA, or at least top 3. And I think it extends into the playoffs too. And there's some interesting stuff you can do. And like, look, we've been saying this since he came in the league, but maybe he starts making threes at a higher clip, at like a clip where you actually have to guard him. It's still potentially in the cards. So I think I would do it. And I said
whoa.
I don't know. I think it's interesting. It's definitely worth exploring. I think like another question you have to ask in this conversation is like, because you have to swap, I think, JB in order to make the Mobley trade.
That's important to know.
Yes.
So then, like, would you rather have Mobley instead of Jaylen Brown, or would you rather keep Jaylen Brown but then still upgrade the big man position on the fringes? So looking at is it Evis Misi from the Pelicans? Like someone on a rookie deal who's more affordable. It's definitely an upgrade at the big man position, but you're keeping the Jays. I'm just thinking about the playoffs where like offense, scoring, droughts, that were a problem. And if you get rid of an all NBA second team guy who like is kind of a bucket, although not always during this most recent postseason run, like, are you creating more problems than you're solving in doing that?
So if you're making this trade, you have to do it for Jaylen Brown. You're making a bet that you're going to be able to unlock him. And everything we've seen from Jason Tatum in his career is that he can unlock big man to a degree that Donovan Mitchell cannot. And James Harden cannot. As good as he was at feeding pocket passes to Jarrett Allen, the defensive versatility and impact, because I think you can play Mobley at the 5 or at the 4, and all of a sudden you're looking at a lineup of Cater, Mobley, and Tatum as like this front court, just insanity of size, athleticism, and Tatum being the skeleton key that makes it work in a way that someone like Donovan Mitchell could never. On the flip side, it's too much of a risk for me. Mobley has not shown to me that he is worth the $270 million that he's been paid consistently. There's moments, yes, but then there's also the playoff game where he has 9 points and 1 rebound. If I'm going to pay a big man $50 million, I need to know for sure that he can like go toe to toe, or at least like help me consistently against the league's best. And I don't think it's a guarantee. And if I'm moving Jalen, it's got to be for like guarantee this trade happens. The talent and or draft compensation needs to be overwhelming.
What about?
But the 5 years younger thing is definitely like you're extending the window maybe an extra 3 or 4 years. Like it's definitely got viability. And I think Spoonie, you nodded your head when I was like Tatum being the guy as far as like if you're trying to unlock a big man. The Celtics unlock everybody. Look at Luka Garza, Neemias Queta, Daniel Tice. Mobley is like the star version of that.
Yeah, man. I just think he fits on both sides of the floor so perfectly that I think Jalen's a better player in a vacuum. But the age combined with the potential upside to me, I think like it's 10. And I'm on record right now. I'm still in like I kind of just want to see a different construction of the Celtics, and this would drastically change the construction of the team.
Yeah, I think that's what gets me there. Like if for whatever reason, like it's just time, like there's some stuff going on behind the scenes or like the decision's been made, whatever, and then Giannis isn't available, or you're just skewing younger in looking at Mobley instead. I think that's kind of what does it for me. But as it stands, I don't know. I think I'm just like a Jays stan. I think I can't do
That's
it.
fine.
So like it sucks for the sake of conversation because like you need to have a take, but like I just love the Jays.
The take is you love the Jays, and they've won a shitload of basketball, and Jaylen Brown just helped lead this team to 56 wins, and the connection to the city and watching your homegrown guys retire together is awesome. I think that is valuable. And for me, it's like the risk, the downside is like, holy shit, we just fucked up. And I think that risk is too high. We just traded for like super Nemius Cater and not like, which is good, but not 270
Come
million.
on.
I'm just saying, what one rebound in a playoff game?
Okay, yeah, okay. No, like the rebounding is an issue. Tatum's an elite rebounder, so
Sure.
like he kind of solves that. Plus, like you said, you can play him next to Kata. We just lost in the first and second rounds with Jalen playing.
That's great.
Maybe
Comment
it
from
is,
Mason
Mason.
Roberts. Do you think it's time to upgrade the show? Get a younger guy, add something new, get better.
Maybe.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, you can't. But I just like, I mean, like it's not working right now. Like what the Celtics have currently is not working, and I'm not sure the answer is to trade Jaylen Brown, but I'm at a point where like if you can get significantly younger by trading him and it's close to a lateral step, I think you have to seriously consider it. And I just think Mobley's one of those guys, and there's very few of them.
Yep, I think that's fair. Like I think there's a good argument on both sides. I think most Celtics fans are going to lean no, but I understand the upside. Mobley, getting the younger part. I think when you're talking about trying to win a title, Brad Stevens' approach has been we're trying to build sustainability, and Jalen being like a year and a half, 2 years older than Tatum, this big man situation is not being solved, but I'm team keep Jays in this scenario here. The next big splash, we don't spend a ton of time on this one, is the Isaiah Hartenstein one. OKC's got some interesting questions to make as far as the second apron go. If they decide, like with all their roster decisions, that keeping Isaiah Hartenstein at his $28+ million team option doesn't make sense. They got Thomas Sorber coming back off the ACL to go with Chet, but at the same time, they're probably thinking we cannot let Hartenstein go after what we just saw from Chet Holmgren. But if they do let him go, you sign and trade Hartenstein into the $27 million traded player exception. This is probably like the best like of all the options because you can get him and not give up anything essentially, besides maybe having to move some salary around in order to get back under the tax if you want to. But if you can get Hartenstein into the TPE, it means you're keeping Jaylen Brown and you're getting like a legit center that would, I think, be a tremendous fit with Tatum and gives you rim protection, offense, the floater. Like he was the Thunder's best player on a team that just went to 7 games against the Spurs. Or Thunder's best big man.
Yeah. I would trade Jaylen Brown for him. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. So they would decline the option and then sign him to like a 3 for whatever, 25 AAV, and then we'd sign and trade that way. Is that kind of the idea? Yeah. So we would be kind of banking on the Thunder to play ball with us, yes, which probably means we're going to have to give up some legitimate assets, probably a pick if I had to guess, or Sam Hauser or something like that. I think this is probably the ideal scenario. Hartenstein is really, really fucking good, man. He's good at both ends. He sets really good screens. He's a plus passer for a big. Like if you could get this done, I would seriously consider a first and then more. Even if, because he's going to have suitors. If OKC is like, hey, we're willing to sign and trade this guy and make it work, like there's going to be a robust market for him. So like this solves your issues. What is he, like 28 now too? So he'll be around for a while. And like, presumably if he's willing to take a contract that fits in the TPE, like he's not going to be overpaid. That's a great contract. So like, to me, this is, I think, my preference.
That's the dream scenario.
Yeah, it's the dream scenario. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, elite touch around the rim for sure. Those like little floater push shot things, just like drop in almost vertically. He seems really consistent there. Great screen setter as well. Definitely an upgrade and financially more viable. The only thing that I don't know concerns me is we just lost in the first round. Is it really going to be they lost in the first round, but then they brought in Isaiah Hartenstein and then like they were better and they made it back to the conference finals or the finals. Like I don't know if that is the move to get us back there, and maybe it's one of several moves and you iteratively improve this team as you head back to a period where you can get back towards the second apron or above the second apron. But it doesn't seem like tide shifting to me, but certainly an upgrade.
counter, the Thunder lost to the Mavericks in the second round, brought in Isaiah Hartenstein, and immediately won the title. So
it's a pretty good counter. I can't argue with that.
Yes, this is very unlikely though, that scenario in my opinion. But obviously the dream scenario, moving into like, I think this is the most likely path. Like Giannis not happening, Mobley not happening, Hartenstein not happening. We sign a big man with the MLE, and we also sign a big man like to a free veterans minimum type deal. So starting with the mid-level exception, it's me. I'm the one lagging. I tried to bring up some stats and my computer said you're slow now.
Okay.
Sorry about that. But Rob Williams, old friend, coming home. The question is, why are the Blazers letting him go after how well he played both in the regular season and especially in the playoffs? The fact that he's still like this athletic despite being injured for basically the last 6 years of his life is insane to me. Incredible lob finisher, like everything that he was good at before, he's just as good at, minus like 7 to 12% athleticism. It's just whether or not you're willing to ride the injury roller coaster. The thing is, once you get to this category, Z Game was already talking about my John Collins guy and doesn't want him. Once you get to the mid-level section, well, we're finding flaws. That's the reality of guys that are being signed for the mid-level exception. You can get someone that is a low-end starter or a high-impact bench player. That's a win at the mid-level exception. This Rob's at the top of my mid-level exception list.
Yeah, I think we just proved that we don't need a center to start and play 82 games and play 30 minutes a night. Yep. Like Nimi, Garza can hold down the fort, and then you just get Rob ready for the playoffs and hope you can play 24 minutes a night. Yeah, absolutely. Sign me up. Rob rules. I also saw him taking some threes this year too. So let's go.
The ball as well. Yeah, sees the game well. I think we're starting to see flaws at this tier, like you said, Jake, and with a player with like health risks, you can get lucky where they just have a healthy season. A player that has a defensive flaw, you're not going to get lucky where they suddenly are able to defend for a season. So in that sense, I don't know. I prefer the risk of the health situation rather than bringing in like a known bad defender at that same price point, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, Rob. I mean, and Rob just played 59 games and then 5 games in the playoffs. Only 17 minutes a game in the regular season, but like that's fine. I think you put him in bubble wrap in the regular season. He's a 15 to 20 minute a night guy. He's not playing in back-to-backs. He's not playing 5 and 7 nights and stuff like that. And yeah, as you said, Luka Garza more than capable. The Celtics have solved regular season basketball.
Yep.
That's like we did that. 57 wins, 64, 61, 56. And the 56 wins came with a team that had an over-under of 41. So, like, I'm not worried about that part. But if you want to have concerns about the health, totally fine. Which applies to this next guy, where we try and weaken the New York Knicks, Mitch Robinson, up as a free agent going into next season. I have no idea what his market is. The $15 million, by the way, is the mid-level number. So if anyone goes for more than that, the Celtics will not be able to afford them unless they sign and trade them into the TPE as we covered, which the Knicks will definitely not be doing with us. But the Knicks might just go into the second apron because they're selling courtside tickets for like $500,000. And how can you break up this team that just made the finals?
Yeah, man. I don't see why they would let Mitchell Robinson go. I don't think his market's going to be crazy. I don't think there's 20 plus million waiting for him. I think the full non-tax MLE, which is 15 million, they can easily match that. They've got his bird rights. They can say, here's 16. And I think that would be a good contract. So I think there's very little chance this happens, but I think it'd be awesome. Him and Tatum would be incredible at the 5 and the 4. Tatum pick and rolls with Robinson crashing the offensive glass, Ugo flying in from the wing. We may never give up a defensive rebound. And then his ability to protect the rim, and him and Nimi are kind of like for like in a lot of ways. So you don't have to change scheme at all when you swap and have Nimi come off the bench. So I would love Mitchell Robinson. I think, is this less likely than Isaiah Hartenstein? I don't know.
I have no idea because I don't think we know what the Knicks feel about like the second apron, because that's not just like I'm willing to pay. It's it's a roster thing as well. But you know, as we know, you can be in the second apron for a year or two before you have to get out. This does feel unlikely as well. He also might just go for more. I don't really have a feel for it, but I agree that the fit, and I think that he's really just really good. Benjamin?
Yeah, I think less likely. I think unless the Knicks like get swept or lose in 5 and the pinky ends up being a factor and they're just like, all right, it's time to cut ties with this guy. But I'd prefer Rob Will anyway. If I had to choose between the two, I just like the more holistic talent base of Rob Williams over Mitch Robinson. Personally.
For sure. And like, you know, people that are saying like no to this, no to that. This is the welcome to the mid-level exception category. Yeah. Where we move to someone we've discussed before, but Sandro Mamu Kilishvili.
Well done. Mamu for short.
Mamu for short. I think would be a great fit, but we're also kind of getting into like, okay, is he a big man? Not necessarily, but he can play some 5. He helps your overall front court. And I think he unlocks like a lot of cool lineups, you know, Tatum at the 4/5, Jalen, Mamu, and Tatum with, you know, Ugo and Walsh, just like very, you know, similar bodied people flying around shooting. He can play some small ball 5. He can play the 4. But yeah, I think I think now we're into this category. It's about kind of creating this platoon of big men where they can kind of give you little bits differently. They can play with Cater. They can play without Cater. Like finding the perfect big man is going to not probably come unless Amari Williams or someone you find in the draft becomes that guy.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Ben.
I mean, that's what I like about bringing on Mamu is that he can play alongside Cater, essentially. And I think Cater is, unless there's a trade where we need to throw in Cater, like he's likely going to be there and is more than sufficient, particularly in the regular season. So if you can add some versatility around Cater, that's kind of what makes Mamu, I'm just going to keep calling him Mamu, stand out to me among the sort of, we're not quite in the bargain bin like level yet, but among these MLE level targets, I think he stands out to me in that regard, Spoonie.
Yeah, I think he's the floor play. I think you know what you're getting with Mamu, and he gives you a different look in a way. Like he is a legit 3-point shooter for a game in only 22 minutes, so that's like 8 per 48. That's real 3-point volume on 39%. I do have some concerns about the rebounding if he's logging like real minutes at center, and I'm not sure he could really hold up defensively as a center in the playoffs. And to me, like that's what I want to solve. Like, who is our center in the playoffs? And Rob and I think Mitchell Robinson solved that problem. And I don't think Mamu does, but you know, assuming those two guys are unavailable, like he would be an awesome signing for sure. Like he's really, really good. And like you guys said, gives us some versatility in the front court that we kind of lacked. And like him and Tatum at the 5 and the 4, I don't know if it would work, but I would love to see it and see what the offense would be ridiculous.
That's the thing, you know, in the context of the offense being the thing that has let the team down several times. He definitely provides some much needed juice. So we like that. The other guy, the mid-level, which I forgot to put in the article, John Collins, I kind of believe in as well. Kind of been toiling away on a big contract in Utah, playing for the Clippers. Is he a traditional big man? No, similar to Mamu. He's kind of Mamu-esque, but with a much better rebounder and a more, gives you like a legit athletic pop and gives you like a bit of a vertical threat on pick and rolls, and he can shoot it now. I think you could do worse for him at the mid-level, but I can understand why people are like, underwhelming.
Yeah, he had Spoonie, correct me if I'm wrong, but he had a decent run for the Clippers this past season. Like I think it was a better vibes shift and a slight narrative shift, although definitely under the radar from like a media coverage perspective for the most part. It was a bit of a return to the norm in terms of what made him popular earlier in his career. It's starting to feel a little bit expensive for me in terms of what you could expect back. And because he's on the smaller side of bigs, like is there too much crossover with our wing rotation essentially? So that maybe is concerning to me. So I think it's going to be a pass for me. And if we whittle down all of our options and John Collins is the only one left, I think I'm waiting and biding my time and holding on to my assets and funds until I can make a more, I don't know, a better move essentially.
Yeah, I don't know if this is fair, but I trust Mamu to play the small ball 5 more than I trust John Collins to. I just think Mamu is more willing to do the dirty stuff. Like Collins gets his rebounds, but like I don't know, man. Maybe this is unfair and like he's washed a little bit of that stink off him playing for the Clippers. But to me, he just exudes not a winning player in a lot of ways. Like, but he shoots it. Like you said, Jake, at real athletic pop would be a really interesting pick and pop who can kind of put it on the floor and drive a closeout and could do some interesting things. I just think like he can't play the 5 defensively. So you're really not solving that problem with John Collins. But, you know, we're starting to get to the scrap heap here, and like he's good. He is a good basketball player. So beggars can't be choosers. I would take Mamu over him, I think, pretty easily. But also, if it's like, hey, here's 2 years, 15 million, you know, like sure, or 2 for 20. Like I think he's worth that.
Exactly. And part of it is getting another contract in that $8 to $15 million range so you can make trades. Like it's simple. It's simple as that. And maybe like we've got a bit more time here. So now that's kind of the mid-level group. And also all this market stuff. I have no idea at the end of the day who's going to go for what. Like John Collins couldn't end up being closer to a veterans minimum guy, but we will see. This is a controversial one. Al Horford. We're into the vet min, like half of the mid-level maybe contracts. Like if you don't have to spend the 10 plus mil on someone, does Al Horford decline his player option to stay with the Warriors? And he played 50 games this year, 20 million. We saw him crank it up, our big Al style in the play-in game against the Clippers, knock down like 5 threes. People are going to say, no, he left us twice. Here's my thing. Look, you trade Marcus Smart in the middle of the night. You trade Isaiah Thomas in the middle of the night. This is not the business to be emotional about. If you think that Al Horford can help you win basketball games and helps you with a chance to win the title, I guarantee you, if he's on the team in the first round, we're not fucking losing to Joel Embiid. That's for damn sure. And for $2 million to $6 million, where Cater can eat all the regular season minutes and so can Gaza, Al can just play like 10 to 15 minutes a night, 50 games, and then come into the playoffs fresh and give you 15 minutes a night. Give all day fucking long. I'm not emotional about this shit. Give us the W's.
Spoonie, like what's the list of affordable big man who can shoot the 3 and switch defensively? I think it's a list of like 1, right? That are affordable and essentially the vet min. I don't know if he can still move his feet at 40 years old, essentially, but I think it's a pretty easy move for the Celtics if it becomes available.
I didn't think he was bad defensively in the playoffs by any means. So I'm all in. Like I love Al Horford. I know he left us twice. The first time I feel like that one hurt a little bit. I get it why he did it the second time. It's whatever he thought. But I mean, I care, and it sucks that he left twice, and that's lame, but also he could help this team. And I still think he's got a little bit of juice left in the legs. I would not give him like any significant portion of the MLE, but if it's a vet min, sign me up.
Yeah. I think, I care that he left. And if we would have had him, we would have, been in the second round, and who knows, we could have been in the finals right now, but I don't care to the point where I'm willing to like make emotional decisions based on that in the NBA. Like this business is way too cutthroat, and the way that everyone deals with each other to make those types of decisions and like that be your reasoning, I think is a little immature and naive, but I get it. It's an emotional thing and we're fans, so I understand it. The other guy, and maybe we'll leave it here and we'll save the rest of the names for later in the week.
I got one as well, but after you.
The other guy, old friend, Kristaps Porzingis, because I think those are interesting forks in the road. It's like, because I'm happy to be off the Kristaps Porzingis roller coaster. But talking to my dad last night, he's like, if it's for the vet min, it's worth the upside. And it's like, yeah, maybe he's right. Like if you get the 16 games that he's healthy in, and it's for the vet min, and you're not relying on him in the way that you were the previous year, then fuck it. That's one way to beat aliens, is have the dude that can shoot from 32 feet. But I'm out.
Yeah, I think fuck it is the resounding sentiment with that one. But I would say fuck it and probably do it as well, because that's the same sentiment going into the Rob Williams move is like you have to at some point take risks, and you get the healthy KP season, or are there learnings from the 2025 season? Probably not. Yeah.
20 games is at the right time is what I think you're hoping for.
I think just quickly, because we will throw out a whole bunch more names on the Patreon as well, but there's been some talk, Bill Simmons most notably, of the Jaylen Brown, Trey Murphy potential like trade exchange. And the financials are tricky, which is how all good trade proposals start off. But can you get a little bit of Derek Queen and Evis Missy in a package
Derek
back
Queen.
along with Trey Murphy if you're looking for young talented bigs on the rise?
Let's just take all of their good players for things I don't know
If you want Jaylen Brown, you gotta pay the price. Like
if Jaylen Brown's going out, then exactly. Sure. I'm not moving Jaylen Brown for the Trey Murphy package. I don't think, but
Trey Murphy and all of your good bigs essentially.
Yeah, which I'm not sure they have any of. From being honest,
like Derek Queen.
She's fun. Yeah. He's fun, yeah, but like defending in the playoffs, not something he can do at this current moment in his life. I don't know. Bill Simmons is a bit all over the place at the moment. I'm not sure what to believe, but the Trey Murphy trade, unless Jalen's included, feels like completely like wish casting to me. And if Trey Murphy does get moved, it's going to be to OKC. If they allow Trey Murphy to go anywhere aside to them, considering how many assets they have, would be just so embarrassing from Sam Presti.
Please know I had to throw that out there now on the free pod because we can't have people think they're paying for that shit. So we'll leave it there. But there is going to be plenty more on the Patreon. This has been fun, guys. And definitely go check out that piece on CelticsBlog.com. It's got a lot of those names that we will kick around on that Patreon pod. I'm filibustering as I try and find the outro button. Here we go. All right, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back a little bit later in the week. Spoonie, Jake, love your work, guys. Until next time, go Celts.